Hey ladies, Tanzu Linstall here. If you're new to the Boss Babes and Mystic Mamas group, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. I am the creator and founder of the Modern Day Mystic and of the Modern Day Mystic Mastermind. This group here is a group that I built with the intention that I've noticed a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs were lacking a place where they could just open up, where they could continue to develop and continue to grow. And something that I noticed that drove me nuts, that I wanted for myself in the beginning of my business, was there was a lot of great information on developing my gifts. I had taken lots of mentorships, but most of them still failed to show me how to turn it into a business. And so that is where the Modern Day Mystic was born, was because I started investing huge amounts of money into very high-end business programs to teach me how to run it as a business. But the reality is that a spiritual business is different than your conventional business. As a spiritual healer, as a psychic, as a medium, this is not a product. This is not, like selling this coffee mug where we can just sell 18,000 of them each and every month and still be okay. I mean, we need self-care. Like, our businesses just ran a little bit different. We deal with people that are energetically aware. So making heart-centered offers is very important, and really working with people in a way that leads to their genuine transformation. But I've had so many people messaging me since I posted and shared that in my first 12 months of spiritual coaching, I generated over $150,000 in my business. Now, I will be the first to say that spiritual coaching did not take off instantly for me. And despite what a lot of people think, because I already had a Facebook page with 1,200 people on it from when I worked as a psychic and as a medium and an intuitive energy healer, lots of people think that those clients instantly became my coaching clients. And that was not the case whatsoever. In fact, most clients that start coming to you at a certain price point aren't ready to invest more. This is why it can be so dangerous if you fall into that trap of going, well, I'm going to charge really little right now and then I'll charge more later. Well, often the clients that you build at that little amount, they're only ever willing to invest that little amount. I mean, it's different if you're already charging a rate like $150 and then you bump it up to $200. Typically, if a person can charge $100 or can afford $150, they will happily pay $200. But there seems to be a real disconnect between people who only want to pay, say, $25 or $30 or $40 to then jumping to $100. A lot of those people that can afford that low-end offer will not make that higher investment of $100, let alone when we start going into the journey of spiritual coaching and spiritual mentoring and having a transformational package where we go from charging $100 or $200 for a session to all of a sudden charging $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for a package. One of my clients has a $10,000 package. I mean, so that is a much different price point for people. And so since I posted sharing that I made $150,000 in my first 12 months of coaching, I made $60,000 in my first 6 months of coaching, and my very first month of coaching, I made a whopping $500. So it did not start off with a bang. It took me time to build momentum. And since I've shared that post, so many people have messaged me going, hey, I've been trying this coaching thing on my own for a while. I'm not getting clients. I'm not getting, clarity calls. I'm not getting discovery calls. And I don't really know what to do. And I've noticed a huge pattern in these people. And that is that they're all just trying things hoping that they will work. They don't really have any clear direction. They don't really have a roadmap. They don't really have anyone to turn to. And this is why when you look at people who are incredibly successful, most of them also have a mentor. And those that don't, lots of people allow their pride not to allow them to get a mentor. And the reality is that something like 80% of businesses fail within the first 2 years. Now, for spiritual women, quite often we don't even view our businesses as businesses, and that is a problem, a big problem. But what I see so often is people are getting so scattered. They have no real plan, no real, technique no real structure, no real strategy in their spiritual business, and they're just kind of hoping that it will come together. They're just kind of hoping that it will all work out. They're downloading every free PDF they can get their hands on. Now, nothing against free PDFs. I love them, but here's the reality. A free training, a free PDF, people are not going to give you all their tools, all their techniques, all their secrets. They're not going to give that to you, because what happens, especially because so many spiritual women are new to the marketing world, I'm going to explain it in a real honest way. What happens when they're asking for your email in exchange for this gift, they're going to email you and email you and email you because they want you to enroll in their bigger programs where they're going to teach you more. And a lot of programs, what they will do is they'll get you started in one program, and then at the end they'll say, and if you want to learn about XYZ, come join this program. And if you want to learn about XYZ, come buy this video program. And then if you want to learn about this, come buy that video program. So then by the time they're done, they've gotten you to invest thousands of dollars into working with them in exchange for their knowledge. I don't do this. I have one program. I was in the process of designing another program and designing a spiritual coaching certification. I backed off both because I just said my program works. Amazing. My clients leave their jobs to work full-time in their business and generate amazing income. Amazing. Like $7,500 in their first 18 days. Like over $20,000 in their first 30 days. Like incredible incomes when they get the steps and the system. Some of these women that come into this program have taken program after program after program and are still struggling because they didn't have the clarity and the steps and the systems. They're not just hoping things will work anymore. We know that this works. So let's do it. Let's do it. Like you said, no one is going to give you all the tools in a $97 program. They're not. That's the reality. They might get you to take the $97 program, and then they'll get you to take the $400 program, and then they're going to get you to sign on for the $4,000 program, and then they're going to invite you to work with them in, a $10,000 program to work with them and really get their real support. And most people who hit a level of success, they know this. I myself, I enroll into a program. I'm in a year-long mastermind that I re-enroll into, and it costs me about $40,000 a year to be a part of it. Wow, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but I generate a lot of money from the steps, the system, the support, and the feeding my brain that this is normal. The community, because if you take a look around, the 5 people you spend the most time with, it's a good reflection of who you are. If you are trying to be super successful, trying to build something totally new, and you're surrounding yourself with people who do not understand you, who think that you're crazy, who don't think that this is a real business, that's what's going to happen. That's what your brain will start to say, okay, well, this is normal. What we want to do, this isn't normal, so it's not safe to do it. So understanding that is so important, so incredibly important. And, it really is time to get honest with yourself if you've been trying this. Excuse me. If you've been trying this for a while and it's not working, time to do something new. Find out how to make it work. Because when you're just trying, that's not a firm plan. And you can keep trying and hoping and praying that it's going to work. You can buy the lottery ticket and hope that you win, or you can learn the steps. Learn a way to give yourself the best chance possible. And don't get distracted. A heart surgeon, when he first starts out in medical school, or she starts out in medical school, I doubt the first surgery they ever do is open heart surgery. Agree? And so I see these people that they want to run webinars and they want to do this and they want to do that, and they've never worked with a client. It's so important to be looking at how you're working with people, getting that experience. And then before you jump into open heart surgery, let's learn how we can get there and work our way up. And it also is really important to look at the way you work with people. My first and foremost focus is always transformation. If you provide your clients with genuine transformation, they will be happy to invest in working with you. They will be happy to continue to pay you. They will be happy and so grateful for everything you provide. But if you are constantly just using the technique that hopefully I will make this work, hopefully I'll be able to make some money, that isn't a real strategy. And the more distracted you get trying things and hoping that they will work, there's a good chance that you're going to hold yourself back from the success that you would have if you had someone say, hey, this is what's worked for me, this is what's worked for others, come do it, here we go. And keeping you focused on where you are, making sure that you're learning, working your way into becoming a heart surgeon, instead of just being like, oh, okay, well, you read the manual, right? Like, you should know what you're doing. Because so many people will fail because they don't have the steps, they don't have the systems in place, they don't have the support, and they don't have anyone around them feeding their brain that this is normal. I love on Fridays the Modern Day Mystic Mastermind calls. There are amazing, the live Q&A group calls, because I work with all my clients one-on-one and in a group, because it's great to have one-on-one support and real feedback by exactly where you are in your business, but also as a group to keep feeding your brain, this is normal, this is normal, this is normal. Oh, look, so-and-so just made 10 grand. Oh, I can do that too. Oh, look, so-and-so just had, a big $4,000 sale. Hey, I can do that too. It's normal. It begins feeding your brain that this is normal. Make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year in your spiritual business. Oh, that's normal. That's normal. It's totally different than when you're talking to the woman who's been reading cards for the last 18 years and charges $45. Nothing against her. Nothing against her. It's just really important to know, is your business a business or is it a hobby? Same as I'm not going to work in a platform in a way anymore that is going to leave me burnt out. I know what it's like to achieve the dream that I once had of having 12 clients a week and teaching and doing open mediumship events. I know what that's like. And I know how burnt out I was. And I looked around at my mentors and I saw what they were doing. And I saw some of them going through health crises. And I saw some of them, the way that they were working with their clients. And I knew what I didn't want. So I said, I'm going to do it different. And I'm so fucking glad I did. I love those people. It's not that I'm judging them whatsoever. But I knew what I didn't want my business to be. And I got clear on what I wanted my business to become. I got the steps. I got the support. I got the systems laid out. And then it was really able to take off. And when I had bumps along the way, I had a whole community to turn to and say, hey, is this normal? Have you done this? Has this happened to you? I got out of hoping. And instead of hoping, I began making things happen for myself. I invested in learning how to take my business to that next level. Instead of hoping someone else's success would rub off on my shoulders, or hoping that someone would one day, offer me a TV show that finally aligned with me, because the ones that had been brought up to my attention were ridiculous and there would be no way I'd be a part of. And I was tired of getting emails from radio shows saying they wanted me to have a radio show, but I was going to pay for it. No, thank you. But this is the thing too, is I needed someone to keep me focused, because there's so much out there. Be on LinkedIn, be on Instagram, be on YouTube, be on this, be on that, do this, do that it can be overwhelming. And so many amazing people I work with have so much incredible knowledge. They have taken program after program and course after course and still aren't getting results, because they aren't actually taking the actions to do it. They don't know what to focus on first. And so that's what we do. Let's get clear on where we're focusing for you, for your business, for your goals. And then we bump up the ladder as we go. And then, we work up the ladder so that one day you can do those big, glamorous things that, right now you're dreaming of doing, but in a way that feels really good and allows you to know that you can do it and that this is possible instead of just hoping. Because far too many people are just hoping. And let me tell you, the coaching industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The spiritual industry has more attention than ever right now. People are waking up. And people are working with, business coaches and personal trainers and health coaches. And, they're working with people ongoing. So for so many of them, to work with someone, a spiritual coach, is a very, very natural transition for them. And so many, even not just spiritual coaches, but so many other coaches that are struggling and trying to make it work, but they've never gotten the steps. They're just trying and hoping. Owning your own business, running your own business, it is a different skill set that is needed. And there is absolutely no shame in running your spiritual business as a hobby. Having a spiritual hobby where people sometimes pay you for sessions or for your gifts. No shame in that. But it's important to ask yourself, is this a hobby or is this a business? Because if it's a business, you need to treat it differently. If you're just doing it just for fun, that's fantastic. But don't depend on it for your livelihood. If you want to depend on it for your livelihood, and if you want to focus on that full time so you can really serve all the people you're meant to serve, then it's important to build it in a different way. And in a way that allows you to grow and expand. Because the reality was I hit my max. I was tapped out. So I knew I could stay at that level where I was burnt out maintaining it, of 12 clients a week, of open mediumship events, of teaching. I could maintain that, but I was going to have to sacrifice a lot in order to maintain that. So I decided I want to set this up so I can build my model. I can evolve my business so it can become more than just about me and my gifts. Because that is something that's very important to me. The knowledge that I've accumulated, the gifts that I have, the gifts that I help others to awaken, I don't want it to just end with me. Because you look at some incredible psychics and mediums, and the reality is healers, that if they don't pass it on, when they die, their message dies with them. And that is the last thing I want, and I think the last thing a lot of you want. And so it's important to look at it. How can we build a spiritual business that can grow, that the message can continue on after, that can make a real difference? Because that is a whole different approach and a whole different way. And one last thing that I will say on that topic, though, is that if you think writing a book is going to give you that and generate you an income, realistically, that is likely not going to happen. Now, I'm not going to say it can't. It can, but Tony Robbins did not become a multimillionaire from writing a book, from his book sales. In fact, I think now with all his new books, all the proceeds from that go directly to charity. So, it really is about looking at how can I make my business profitable, sustainable, and then focus on evolving it to really getting my message out there. But it's up to you to make the decision if you're ready to stop fumbling around trying to work it out. And if you're ready to get super clear on the steps, on the systems, on the spiritual approach to your business, to using mindful marketing, building that transformational package, doing heart-centered sales, then I would love to have a discussion with you. I would love to hear about your vision for your business. I would love to just get a chance to connect with you. This group has grown so much. I feel like there's so many of you that are new here that I don't know yet. And those of you that have been here since like the beginning, I'm so grateful that you're still here. I hope that you're still getting value from these lives, from the content that's shared here. And if we do chat and you're a fit for the program, I will be happy to tell you all about what happens in the Modern Day Mystic Mastermind. Okay, guys, I hope this has been helpful. I didn't post this on my page because this is a little bit more like naysayer than I typically ever go. And it's not that I'm trying to be mean. It's that I'm trying to help people see that there are two parts to manifestation. There is the vision. There is putting it on the vision board, seeing it, sensing it, feeling it. And then there is getting off your butt and doing it. And in order to get off your butt and do it, you have to have a system. Have you ever had a moment where you've got like all these to-dos in your head and you're so busy doing everything that you don't get anything done? It is likely much more effective if you make a list, prioritize, and work on things one thing at a time. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to PM me. Feel free to leave them in the comments. If I don't answer in the next like 24 hours, tag me so that I see it. And ladies, anything is possible. Your spiritual business does not mean that you have to spend forever struggling, either financially or energetically. You can be full of energy, honoring your energy, and getting compensated well, and having clients that are so fucking grateful to work with you. I hope you enjoyed. Sending each and every one of you so much love. Happy Friday. Chat soon.